When you picture a Spartan warrior, you probably imagine a bronze-clad juggernaut. But the real Spartans often went into battle with far less armor than you'd expect. Instead of heavy breastplates, most wore only a bronze helmet, greaves, and carried a massive shield, the aspis. Why? Speed and stamina. Shedding the cuirass let them move faster and fight longer, perfectly suiting their aggressive tactics. Their true defense was the shield wall, and the man beside them in the phalanx, not layers of metal. This minimalist approach wasn't just practical, it was psychological. Advancing with exposed chests projected confidence and fearlessness. Enemies saw not just warriors, but a united, unbreakable force. The Spartans standardized their gear for the whole army, prioritizing collective effectiveness over individual protection. Their iconic helmets and shields created a fearsome, anonymous look, while their red cloaks symbolized status, not battlefield attire. The Spartans' secret: they didn't need to be walking fortresses. They needed to be a fast, lethal, and coordinated wall of men. Their armor philosophy was as much about mindset as metal. Spartan strength began in childhood with the brutal agage training system. At age 7, boys left their families for communal barracks, where the state molded them into soldiers. The agage stripped away individuality, forging loyalty to Sparta above all else. Boys endured hunger, learned to steal, and were punished for getting caught, not for stealing itself. Fighting, hardship, and silence were daily lessons, building resilience and discipline. Education focused on Spartan laws, war songs, and the deeds of heroes, preparing them for a life of service. By their late teens, graduates were products of relentless physical and psychological conditioning. The agoge didn't just train soldiers, it created a brotherhood ready to obey, endure, and fight without fear. This was Sparta's greatest innovation, a society engineered for war from the ground up. Graduation from the agoge was just the beginning. At 20, Spartans joined a sicyon, a lifelong brotherhood sharing meals and battles. Daily life revolved around this group, reinforcing unity and equality. Mornings meant intense physical training, wrestling, running, and weapons drills to keep every man battle-ready. Afternoons brought hunting, sharpening skills for tracking and teamwork. Evenings were spent at communal dinners, where veterans shared stories and tested the younger men's judgment. These rituals bonded the warriors, turning their unit into a true family. Unlike other Greeks, Spartans were full-time soldiers. Their land was worked by helots, freeing them to focus solely on war. This professional lifestyle gave them an unmatched edge. Every day was preparation for battle, making the Spartan army a permanent force of elite fighters. Their society was a military machine, engineered for victory. Discipline, unity, and relentless training defined their daily existence. The Spartan phalanx was the ultimate expression of unity and discipline. Hoplites stood shoulder to shoulder, shields overlapping to form a near impenetrable wall. The strength of the phalanx was collective. Each man's shield protected his comrade. The front ranks wielded long spears, while those behind created a bristling defense against arrows. Victory depended on every soldier holding his place, trusting the men beside him. Any break in the line could spell disaster, but Spartan training made such failures rare. Their relentless drills and lifelong bonds forged in the agage and sicyon made them the most cohesive force in Greece. The phalanx wasn't just a formation, it was a living war machine. Spartans advanced as one, unyielding even in the face of terror. Their discipline turned the phalanx into a legendary weapon. The Spartan phalanx was more than a blunt instrument. It was a flexible, sophisticated weapon. Spartans drilled constantly, learning to maneuver by flute signals and officer commands. This allowed for precise, coordinated movements unheard of in other armies. They mastered complex tactics like the feigned retreat, luring enemies into chaos before striking back in perfect formation. Only their discipline made such risky maneuvers possible. Spartan officers, including the king, led from the front, inspiring and directing their men. Junior officers controlled smaller units, enabling rapid responses to threats. They could adjust formation depth, wheel to face new dangers, and maintain cohesion over rough ground. Relentless practice made them the ultimate professionals, turning the phalanx into a fast, adaptable force. Their innovation was transforming a static formation into a dynamic tool of war. Spartan warfare began with fear, long before the first spear was thrown. Their appearance was a weapon-long hair, crimson cloaks, and expressionless bronze helmets. Before battle, they calmly combed their hair, signaling readiness for death and unnerving their foes. The sea of red cloaks and uniform armor projected unity and invincibility. Their Corinthian helmets hid their faces, turning them into anonymous, relentless warriors. The Aspis shield, often marked with the lambda, made them instantly recognizable and feared. This visual identity was deliberate psychological warfare. Enemies saw not individuals, but the living embodiment of a legend. Men who never surrendered. The Spartan reputation alone could break enemy morale before the fighting began. Their greatest weapon was the fear they inspired. Spartan genius went far beyond the phalanx. They excelled at intelligence, logistics, and choosing the perfect battlefield. Scouts, often from the elite Skiritai, gathered vital information, letting Spartans fight on their own terms. Their austere lifestyle meant they could operate with minimal supplies, moving faster and farther than rivals. They chose terrain that favored their tactics, like the narrow pass at Thermopylae. Spartans adapted when needed, building a navy to defeat Athens at sea during the Peloponnesian War. Their willingness to innovate and embrace new strategies set them apart. Spartan success was built on intelligence, adaptability, and relentless pragmatism. Spartan innovations echoed through history, inspiring armies from Rome to the modern world. The Romans admired their discipline and collective spirit, weaving those values into their own legions. Renaissance thinkers studied Spartan training, seeing a model for professional armies. The very words Spartan and laconic come from their legacy. Military academies still teach the values of fitness, discipline, and unit loyalty, core to the agage. The story of the 300 at Thermopylae remains a symbol of courage against impossible odds. Sparta's true secret was a society built for war, integrating training, psychology, and strategy. Their principles of discipline, cohesion, and innovation remain relevant to this day. We've uncovered the secrets behind Sparta's legendary military machine: clever innovations, relentless training, and psychological warfare. Their story proves that the mind and spirit are the most powerful weapons. Every civilization has its own tales of innovation and struggle, waiting to be discovered. History is a grand story of human achievement, shaping our world today. By exploring the past, we gain wisdom and perspective for the future. If you enjoyed this glimpse into Sparta, keep exploring. There's always more to learn. Let curiosity guide you on a lifelong journey through history's greatest stories. Subscribe for more incredible tales that shaped our world.